the world, utilizing contemporary best practices and scaling up of operations. In the short span of 6 months, he has provided the much needed leadership in streamlining the HR component, establishing JBS to set up technical business incubators, adoption of nuclear and aerospace technologies for commercialization, setting up foreign collaborations, establishing MOUs with Navratnas, fairness and transparency in dealings through implementation of ERP and e-office solutions. He believes in work like life balance with utmost importance to upkeep of good health. And he's an Isha mediator and pursues yogic practices learned from Sri Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev's Isha Foundation. He's a keen golfer, pursues photography, and is a randonneur long distance cyclist. So, having known about this, Commodore Amit Rostogi, we are very, very happy that you are with us. And I'd like to invite you now to speak on the topic, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Sunit, for these kind words. First of all, a very, very good morning to all of you. Professor Satyakam, Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Dr. Sunit, Director, School of Law at IGNOU. Heads of departments, various faculty members, and the students who have joined online. We are in a virtual mode and talking about a very, very important topic, as Dr. Sunit had said, the intellectual property rights, because this is something which is being sort of given due credence, not only by the government, but being widely accepted, especially in the startup ecosystem. So here we are, primarily from National Research Development Corporation, and I think before we talk about the various schemes which are available through Government of India, it would be apt to give you a brief resume about National Research Development Corporation, because we are one of the oldest entities in this space, and established in 1953 under Ministry of Science and Technology. It's a Section 8 company, duly mandated primarily to nurture, promote, and commercialize the technologies which come out of our universities, national R&D institutions, individual innovators. So the aim of the exercise was to provide a medium for the technologies which come from our public funded research labs to reach the market. And we specialize in technology transfer and IPR portfolio management. So these are the two important, the core activities which are undertaken by NRDC, and it's been our business since last 69 to 70 years. So enough of knowledge base is available primarily with NRDC, and this is what I would like to cover in the initial part of our talk. And since the technology commercialization is an activity which is a core activity what we do, there are lots of value additions which are undertaken by NRDC, and which I will cover in subsequent presentation. So NRDC is headquartered in Delhi. We are presently at NRDC headquarters, but we have got a footprints in Visakhapatnam, covering the eastern coast, and we have 3 business incubators which are being run at Bangalore as part of CSIR NAL, one at IMMT Bhubaneswar, and the third one at Guwahati. So we are in the process of opening an outreach center also in Pune, which should be a reality, I think, I would say in a couple of days' time as we are speaking. So the aim is to be able to be available primarily to all the stakeholders, whether they are individual inventors or startups and MSMEs, in support of their quest to commercialize their technologies, and also primarily for looking after their IP activity. So I think this slide basically indicates that how is an RDC positioned primarily between the two entities. Basically, on one end, we have the entities who are responsible for technology generation, and on the other end, we have the licensees in the form of entrepreneurs, startups, MSMEs, corporates, and also the foreign entities. So NRDC basically helps to connect lab to land. When we say it connects, so it means there is an IP which is getting generated primarily in the institutes, in the research institutes, and that IP, once it is generated, obviously it is required to be protected, and once protected, it is required to be monetized. So this process of generation, protection, and monetization is an activity which, in very simple terms, gets looked after by National Research Development Corporations. So what do we do as part of this process? So there are various value addition, as you would see in the slide, is that we provide support for protection. We provide support for various value addition activities which we undertake through various programs of ours. And in that, we provide support for the trials, prototype trials, market survey reports, feasibility study reports, DPRs, basic engineering design packages, and also the funding support, primarily for upscaling of technologies from uh, various levels of technologies to higher level of technologies. The aim is that if we are in ideation stage and we are at TRL1, TRL2, how to upscale the technology from that TRL2 to TRL9 before it is taken up for commercialization. So that support is taken care of by NRT. So here I think is basically to give you a glimpse of the activities which are, what NRDC has done in last 69 years, to give you a confidence as to the activities which, um, how these activities have happened, and what is the strength which NRDC has built up over a period of time. Now, so as I had mentioned to you that we are a 69-year-old organization, and the number of technology transfers which have happened are more than 5,000 plus. We do this activity through the various industry interaction meets, IPR awareness programs, through the exhibitions, workshops, what we organize. And uh, we were also in the process of setting up the university's intellectual facilitation centers. So, which is a scheme which has been discontinued recently, but the aim was to help universities with the innovation process. And so, in this entire exercise, what have we done? We have created wealth in the excess of around 3,000 crores, supported around 50,000 plus scientists, 2,500 odd technologies which are available with us for commercialization, 2,000 odd plus patents have been filed through NRDC. So this is the kind of the network which has got established, and these are the beneficiaries which have made use of the services of NRDC. Next. Okay. Now, so NRDC, the purpose of today's presentation is primarily to give you an idea about the various government schemes which are being run by NRDC. Because since we are a government organization, so and being a Section 8 company, we have two programs. One is the commercial program, in which we carry out licensing of technologies. We do provide support for IPR in a consultancy mode, and we carry out the various consultancy projects with various ministries. Just to highlight, I think we are involved with Department of Defense Production, with Ministry of Heavy Industries, and also with Ministry of Commerce in managing their, especially with Department of Defense Production, their IPR program through intellectual property facilitation centers, which is operating out of DGQA. And at Ministry of Heavy Industries, we are supporting the capital goods, the phase 1 and phase 2 scheme. Again, the core activity which is carried out there is identification of IP which is getting generated through these the programs, in which the government is funding the PIOs and the industry. So the aim is that we should identify these IPs and protect these IPs, and subsequently take it up for commercialization, so that the effort does not get lost sight of. And with Ministry of Commerce, we are in the business of managing the agri-export startups. And the aim of the exercise is basically to support the carbon neutral and climate resilient the food production. So these are those commercial activities. And on the other end, we have those various promotional programs which we run on behalf of Government of India. The two major schemes what are managed by us are Program for Inspiring Inventors and Innovators, briefly called PIII schemes, and PTTC. So in PIII scheme, we'll be covering this in detail subsequently, which Dr. Sanjeev will give you the necessary details as to what all happens in individual activity. There is a technology development, validation, and commercialization. In this, the support is provided to basically startups and MSMEs for upscaling their technologies from TRL 2 to 4 to 6 to 8, and also for technology commercialization. And we have the scheme for IP assistance, in which the fund is provided by the Government of India. And as per our IP policy, the individual inventors, startups, MSMEs, or anyone who is an Indian citizen can apply for the assistance under this scheme. We also manage the incubation centers, especially in today's time, especially when we have our startup ecosystem is very, very strong. So there is a requirement primarily to provide that support to incubatees, I would say, to the startups. So earlier we had only one incubation center at Delhi. We have two other centers, incubation centers, being managed at as part of CSIR NAL at Bangalore and CSIR MMT at Bhubaneswar. So through these, we have got startups who are incubated with us. We provide them the mentoring support, testing facility support, and also the funding support. So so we have started small, but this is a facility or a mechanism which is available for anyone to make use of this. Now, as part of this program for development of technologies for commercialization, it is a unique program in which the technologies which get generated in the laboratories, obviously they are not necessarily in the stage for commercialization directly. So there is a bit of value addition which is required to be undertaken. And so the various value addition activities, as I had mentioned earlier, is in the form of development of basic engineering design packages, in which we identify the various the plants and machineries which are needed for establishing the manufacturing setup for the technologies. We carry out market surveys, generate market survey reports to get an idea about what is the potential of the technology and what are the contemporary technologies which are available in the market. DPRs are prepared. And also we have got two projects, techno-commercial support and the priority projects, in which we provide the funding support. The details, I think, Dr. Sanjeev will give it to you. And we have the seed funding, the program, and the outreach centers, which are being managed by NRDC. Next. Okay. Now, this, I think, should give you an idea that what is that for which should I be going to NRDC? I think it is we are a technology agnostic company. Anything, I'm sorry, all technology domains basically gets looked after by NRDC, because we are primarily created for CSIR labs, 37 of them, pan India, dealing in various technology sectors. So all those technology sectors are available to us for technology commercialization. Please excuse me. Yeah, next. Yeah, so this basically gives you an idea in nutshell as to how an RDC is basically providing support to entrepreneurs. When we say, I think Dr. Sunit was mentioning that what are the schemes which are available to IPR creators. So who are creating IP? Obviously, our scientists are creating IP, our entrepreneurs are creating IP, our startups are creating. So once we have these stakeholders who are in the process of generation of IP, then obviously they should be we should be providing all round support to them. So, and that support is available at NRDC. How is it available? Because we are involved, we are part of the Startup India program, in which we do the startups evaluations for tax exemptions. We provide them support for filing of patents, trademark, design, and copyrights. As I had mentioned, that we manage our incubation centers, in which we provide support in both physical as well as virtual mode. But obviously, the support is available in every domain, not only for providing the physical space, but also in terms of the mentoring support from the specialist, and also for giving them the testing facilities through the labs which are part of our network. And the various funding programs in which we provide support up to 1 crore or 30 lakhs, 5 lakhs 2 lakhs, 10 lakhs under various schemes, which is available to our incubators. And obviously, over a period of time, through all these labs, there is a technology assignment which has happened. Through those assignments, there is a large technology data bank which is available with us. And that technology data bank is available to anyone who wants to make use of this, who wants to ideate around those the technologies and wants to establish it. So there is a wholesome support right from the ideation to commercialization is available at NRDC. Right? And as I had mentioned that the various the funds which are available to us through Government of India, they are managed through various schemes at NRDC. And yeah. So this was, I think I've already covered, and I mentioned about the various incubation centers which are being managed, and we are in the process of increasing the scope of this. One such incubation center is likely to come up at Chennai as part of Central Leather Research Institute, one of the CSIR labs positioned there, and so likewise we will have more such business incubators coming up and to be managed by NRDC. So this is a nutshell about what NRDC does and how are we available primarily for the various stakeholders. So now I will request Dr. Sanjeev, and who is managing the consultancy projects, who is managing our IPR division, to give you more details about the various schemes which are available. At the end of it, I think we will take up if there is any question available at your end.
Before I call upon Sanjeev ji for giving his talk, I would like to introduce him. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Majumdar is working as a manager in startup activities and intellectual property division of National Research Development Corporation, New Delhi, which is an enterprise of Department of Scientific and Industrial Research under the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. NRDC was created with the mandate to promote and commercialize indigenously developed technologies emanating from various research institutes, universities, and academic institutions in the country. Dr. Majumdar has more than 15 years of valuable experience in the field of IPR. Dr. Majumdar is member of Interministerial Board Secretariat of Startup India, initiatives of DIPP, MOCI, Government of India. This secretariat assesses applications received for recognition and tax exemption. He is also coordinator for IOCL Startup Projects Monitoring Committee. He is also the coordinator for upcoming NRDC Incubation Center at NRDC New Delhi. He is also a coordinator for NRDC Contest for demonstrating innovative prototypes for startups, an annual award being showcased and conferred during the Innovate India program of NRDC. He has expertise in conducting patent search and has been dealing with new patent applications received by NRDC for patent assistance and prize awards. He has also been involved in prosecution of patent application from filing to grant liaison between inventors, institute, attorneys, and patent office. He has organized more than 30 workshops, and we are looking forward to many, and seminars for IPR awareness across the country. He has delivered invited lectures on IPR in various universities and research institutes. He was also involved in setting up of IPFC, Intellectual Property Facilitation Center at Bangalore, funded by MOMSMEs and DSIR. And prior to joining NRDC, he has worked with Professor Anil Gupta at National Innovation Foundation of India, Ahmedabad, where he worked for grassroots innovators and traditional knowledge holders of the country. He has also worked at Indian Council of Medical Research, New Delhi. So Sanjeev ji, I invite you to speak upon the topic, which is very, very relevant for in today's time. And I also would like to tell you that we have a number of students. You know that we have a center, National Center for Innovation in Distance Education. And a lot of students have enrolled there we are science students, PhD students, and who are doing, who are every day creating something. They are inventors, and they have invented something, and they're looking for, help, because, it is very difficult to file a patent. As when it comes to fees, or when it comes to writing a patent, defending a patent. We have a program of a postgraduate certificate in patent practice, and we've got a lot of queries, like how to file a patent, what is the jurisdiction, where to file. And I hope that in your talk today, you will make it very clear to our students that what are apart from the schemes also, because these are certain queries which the students have always come up to us, and we have been giving them talks on TCs and IRCs, teleconference sessions and IRCs, but still they want to know from the experts, people like you who are sitting there. So please do clear that, whatever they have in their minds. And with that, I invite you. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. We'll try to address all the questions. As sir has continued about the NRDC, we have several schemes. Into their schemes, the first, as you said, that we have to introduce to all the students and faculties also, those who are attending this program. And every faculty is involved in research. Students, they do something new, and then they approach to their faculty that they have found something new, and but found new has been found. After that, everyone is very much inclined to write a research paper. When research papers we are publishing, we are writing, we have to identify as a responsibility from the faculty and the senior students also. While mentoring those young minds, we have to identify that whether it is a good process or product it's coming from there. We have to identify the IP part into that new research. If it is something is there, it has to be protected by suitable IP component. So that's the required for all the research faculty, those who are attending this program. And I always request to every research faculty that we have to identify first before publishing it, so that we should not infringe, like later on, we should not lose the chance that we have published it earlier and filing now later. So first we have to identify there is a IP component into that, and we have to protect it. Then after the filing of the patent application, it can be published on research paper, because researchers always they prefer to be get their research published in research journals and then get acknowledged by others, and thus creates the edge factor into their research community. So that those things are also required, but we have to responsibly we have to check before publication. If some process or some product is there into that research, it has to be protected by patent. And if it is a kind of a research review or kind of analysis kind of thing, then that can be go for a publication or a copyright suitable protection also. And for the entrepreneurs, those who are going embarking into new journey for the as entrepreneur, then they have to go for trademark filing also, because they are going to establish some brand or some service brand for their entrepreneurship. So that's for the entrepreneurs it is required. But in academia, I always prefer to request that please identify if there is a patent, it has to be patented. If it is not, if its subject matter is copyrightable, please do go for filing of a copyright application also. So these two are very important for our research community. And when it is going to entrepreneurs, then other IP forms are there. So we'll have question answers from the faculties if they are asking for, and also from the students. So now I'm continuing the discussion as sir has introduced. Out of all of our schemes, the first I am briefing it. This is the IP assistance scheme. This is one of its kind, very unique scheme from NRDC. We are maintaining it for past more than 30 years, 40 years, and it is this is into this scheme we support to all academic researchers, research institutes, and not only to these research institutes and academia, we also support the individual inventors also, where they are looking for that we have to file a patent application, but we are not getting a good attorney. And whenever they are approaching to attorney, they are asking for a fees. So that's professional services. They have to ask for the fees, that is their requirement. But to whom they may contact for this getting a patent filed by for their invention, for their creativity. So there is this scheme which is being run by NRDC. And in fact, we have received some forwards cases from the patent offices also, where individual inventors they have approached to patent office and not properly written disclosure they have submitted to patent office. Then they said that you may approach to NRDC and they will assist you. So here we have supported to so many applicants. About 2,000 patent applications have been filed, and yearly we are having a target of filing of 100 patent applications from all the community. Recently, since 2016, the Startup India scheme has been launched. Into that, it was mentioned that key startups they can also go to approach to government bodies, and they can also seek support. So we have expanded our a scheme from academia, researchers and individuals to startups also. So into that, startups also they are getting benefited from this patent filing scheme. So all three they can approach to us, either it's a startup or a research university or a research institute or an individual. Here we are supporting completely for the professional fees to the attorneys and the government fees also. And our support is right. It begins from like handholding, where the invention is on a single page write-up, or maybe in the kind of a research paper, or maybe as a pharma prototype, where the researcher is looking for, it has to be protected by a patent application. So we support that. We start from beginning the requirements of the Patent Act, as Patent Act says that these are the things which are patentable, these are the things which are not patentable. So we help in all to all the applicants how whether it is patentable or not patentable. If it is not patentable, then how it can be patentable. So that complete handholding is from our side, and it's very quick. When our new CMD sir has joined, we have minimized that. We have very this process. We have the earlier timeline was very lengthy, where because it was going to the committee. Now we have not going to committee. We are deciding the case with each application we are receiving within 15 days. We are deciding that whether it can be filed or not to be filed. Not to be filed cases are only which are prohibited into the Patent Act only. Otherwise, it's permitted in Patent Act. We are filing those applications for all individual academia researchers and individuals and the startups. So patent filing support is from our side. Immediately we are filing a patent application with provisional submission, and later on we are going with complete submission, and up to that examination fees and the grant, everything we are maintaining. And after when the patent is granted, that then we hand over the patent certificate to the applicant, that now it is your property and you have to maintain for it for further years up to its life of 20 years. That annual fees is there. So since the main support is required in securing that patent, and the professional services and the expertise services required for filing and defending the case into the patent office, so that everything we are supporting after the grant being a commercial property, and it's a kind of other commercial interest. Now we request in applicant institutions that you may kindly go ahead with your own business plan, how you have to maintain, how you have to do all the things. So there is no commitment from the applicant or the individual or the startups. It is 100% from our side. The expenditure is up to the grant. So that's our patent scheme, and it's just I'm showing here some logos here, like one H2E power company is there from the Pune. We have filed their application and 6 patent applications into our IOCL startup scheme. One Pratyaksha Agrotech is here, their patent application and trademark for this Pratyaksha logo we have filed in our support scheme. And for Secure Fire, we have filed a patent application for their product in India. And another logo is there, Vasbros, for their patent application we have filed a patent scheme. For again from the Sir Gangaram Hospital, we have filed patent application into our PIII scheme for their one new cancer detection technology technique. And also for the Stars and SAPSI, startup, Basitars, a startup, we have filed their patent applications also. So few trademark and mostly patent applications we have filed. And the institutions you are seeing here logo we are depicting. It's only indicative. We just for a mix of startup industry and the institutions we have depicted here. So everyone is eligible to file those patent applications. It's irrespective of any technology domain or the things. So that was the scheme for the patent assistance. Apart from patent assistance, we have also funding schemes where to encourage the startups and to MSMEs and incubators also, to where they can seek support from us in the phase 1 up to the 1 crore rupees as a grant, where these technologies they have to develop, they have to upgrade the technology from TRL2 to TRL 6 to 8 as a commercially eligible product. So those that support for the maturing the technology we are supporting from NRDC, and since it started last year only, and in the first phase we have supported to 3, and they are doing very good their development, and very soon by end of the 2 years this project period they will be delivering their technology to the market. So mostly its support is there. In second phase we are again funding as against equity to these startups, these beneficiaries, those who have established their POC and it's a commercial product, then again to establish their plant and other things, whatever is required or regulatory clearance is required. So into that again 1 crore rupees investment is there in second phase, as in this our TDBC scheme, that is Technology Development Validation Commercialization Scheme. So it's again available for those researchers, those who are changing, embarking their journey into entrepreneurship, and also to the MSMEs available in this scheme. Apart from this for the very important for all the faculties, those who are attending this program and listening this program, there are the requirement that some prototype has to be developed, or there's some certain process trials or field trials or testing has to be done, or some analysis report is required. Sometimes for the invention or invention, that one video or working of that thing is to be prepared, and sometimes pre-feasibility report also to be prepared for the technology for commercializing that product or license that product to industry, to pitch there basically about the product. And also for the demonstration of technology, cost of technology for also we support that. For small amounts it is, but it's for preparation of that they need a consultant. But when they are going to opportunity person, they will ask for the fees, but the fees we are supporting to the researchers from our this uh, scheme from techno commercial support. So it ranges from rupees 25,000 to 2 lakh rupees. Mostly those who are approaching for product development, we are supporting in 2 lakhs. It is 2 lakh rupees grant from our side. We disperse in two phases. First phase one, upon the grant, 50% of the amount, and upon the completion, the remaining 1 lakh being dispersed to the for the product development. And it's for all the promising technologies and technically feasible and commercially viable technologies, and uh, to all inventors, innovators, those who are doing the research in their academia. So it's very initial stage. The supports are required for the researchers. So this scheme is there. And again, for like it was for the rupees 2 lakh support, but sometimes it is required that a high amount is required. So then another scheme, that is development projects and value addition for priority projects. In priority project scheme, we are supporting this scheme. Well, it was with the objective to provide support for development of value addition of technologies at the laboratory scale, bench scale, or prototype stage. Like prototype has been developed, then after it's required to be make it successful. So this into this scheme, it's we seek for whether patent is filed or with competition, or if it has been granted. Then we support to the assigned technology assigned to analysis of the commercialization, and proposals accepted throughout the year, and support amount is about 10 lakh rupees. And many beneficiaries they have received in phases. Maybe for the development, if they are looking into a period of 1 year or period of 6 months or 2 years. So milestones they have to provide, and based on milestones, we are releasing these funds. And 10 lakh rupees again, it is as a grant, it's being disbursed from NRDC. So two schemes as an initial stage of researchers, and third, the TDBC is for the large scale investment were required for the as a startup establishment or MSME establishment. Those are schemes. And apart from that, we have a seed funding scheme also that we started as angel funding. Now it's seed funding. So it is to for the startups and entrepreneurs, and again to promote their fruitfulness of the research work and to undertake their development to commercialize to new products or processes. It is against the equity. It requirements are that it should be a company in the Companies Act, a private limited company, and it should be minimally it should complete at least 6 months duration of incubation period at any of the governments of incubator company, or that company or the startup must be registered to the DIPP. But basically it should have a DIPP number, so they can approach to us and they can apply to us, and based on their technological uh, possibilities, how they are going to utilize these funds, and how their uh, their technology is good. Based on that, a decision is being taken by the committee, and up to 30 lakh rupees we are dispersing to the startups. And it is scheme is very old. About in 2008 we started the scheme, and this year again it is being launched again. Very soon the application lines will be open. Those startups, those who are listening to this program, they can also apply to the our NRDC for this investment of rupees 30 lakhs. For example, I always love to share that we have invested in a very past in a company with IIT Madras incubating company in 2007-8. And when we disinvested it for this 30 lakh rupees, they have returned 4.55 crores to NRDC. So the company is unicorn now, and it was a journey of about 14 years now. The startup is very much established, and they are very good product delivering company. And now these are the schemes from NRDC which are available for the researchers. Now, for the researchers, those who are faculty here, those who are attending, and they are looking for that key, not into the part of the journey of the entrepreneurship. But yes, technologies are available. Then technologies should go to the public, as we have already mandated. Every research is meant for the use of the public. So that into that we are facilitator for all your research to be commercialized. And we do commercialize technology transfer. We commercialize the technology by way of a TOT agreement, and into that it is a formal process. The research institute has to send the technology to the NRDC, and we request the detail, and our basis is basically from the research institute we sign a MOA, and then after we get it assigned into ours, then we add values. We assess the technology based on the commercial potential, and sometimes we also suggest for the, if it is IP is not protected, then we go for the IP protection. Then after we go for commercial activity. Commercialization, I'm suggesting it because those faculty who are attending here, if they are not going for their entrepreneurship, and they feel that this technology what they have developed, it has to be commercialized through someone. So NRDC is your helping hand, and we'll get it technology from you, and we'll commercialize it. And initially, we have this technology assignment for the 5 years. Within 5 years, we add values to that. We are valuation activity, like what technology has developed, what market survey says, and based on market analysis and this is its economic feasibility, and we pitch those technologies to the industry. And when an industry it has, shows interest, then we offer the technology to the industry, and into that offer, basically we decide the agreement, agreed on the agreed terms from the research institute. What will the premium, what is the royalty, and based on that, we sign the license agreement with the research industry. And after signing that license agreement with industry, licensing of technology, demonstration happens at the institute, like at your university, where you have developed technology. The industry approaches you, industry visits you, and we request you to release the technology in favor of the industry to whom we have licensed the technology. And this licensee, when he is satisfied that the technology has been successfully demonstrated by the research institute, then one letter is being signed uh, by the industry to the research institute that the technology is good and they are going to use. So based on that, we share the transfer to we transfer the share of the R&D premium what we have collected from the industry as a to the institute. Our this benefit sharing is basically on the basis of agreed MOA terms with if it is 70%, 70% R&D share goes to the research institute, and 30% is being retained by NRDC as a management fees for this transaction. And again, all technology licensing, what we do, that is royalty. We collect royalty, recurring royalty, and based on the product or process what has been transferred to the industry, and royalty is on expected sales price. It is normally it ranges from 3 to 5%, and what royalty we collect, again as per the agreed terms, we remit that R&D share to the institute from where we have sourced the technology. If it is 70% and 70%, if it is 50%, then 50% to remit to the institute. And always our license agreements are with a validity of 10 years because they have to protect. And if the industry wishes to continue to make and sell those products, again we enter the renewal of the license agreement, and then they can make. And always being it is all our research comes from public funded research institutes or university systems, so we always sign the license agreement as a non-exclusive license agreement, and these are the public license agreement nature. And demonstration charges, sometimes it is being charged from the industry, and GST as and all the royalties, it is as per the applicable law. We charge about 12% to the industry, and that is to be paid to the tax department only. So process is that the technology is from the industry transfer terms as agreed with the research institutes, and details based on the licensee's interest and licensee's credible credentials. We transfer the technology, and when the licensee makes the payment, that agreement is being signed. And after that, demonstration we are, as I earlier detailed, demonstration is to be done by the research institute to the industry. So know-how demonstrated to the industry licensee by annotation as usual basis, but as because most of the time it is lab scale or pilot scale technology available at your institute, and that industry goes for the upscaling of that, then it is being commercialized by them as a product to the market. Sometimes we have also advised suggested that they can label their product with name also. Like recently in the market, it was there was a medicine from the Ayush. It was developed R&D product of Ayush Ministry, CCRS, and the licensee was manufacturing it under the name IME9, and the technology was Ayush 82, basically a diabetes control formulation. And they clearly mentioned that the technology has been sourced from the IUS. So that also sometimes industry they wishes to use the name of the institute. So that is also permitted with written permission from the both the technology development institute, the institute which is developed technology, and also from the NRDC. Many times they have also mentioned that technology has been licensed by NRDC also. So those are the things for their marketing they do. And when they are producing their products, they have to pay the royalties. Royalties we collect by annually 2 times. Every 6 months, they have to remit the royalty to us as per the license agreement terms. And as I said, of that, as per the agreed terms, we remit the royalty, whatever amount is being realized from the industry, and the same proportionate we try to remit it to research institutes. So it was complete technology transfer process of how we do. Uh, I have detailed here everything. Sometimes post licensing requirements are also there. So like patent maintenance and their Form 27 filing in the patent office, that the technology is in use. And at a later stage, when the technology has created a long-term impact into our society, so we also do a socio-economic impact assessment for those successful technologies which has reached across every nooks of the country, and how it has created an impact. So basically, it's a researcher's dream. Basically, when they do research, they have developed something new, something well, which is for the good cause of the public. And when it reaches everyone, then this report is very much useful. That yes, the objective of the research has been met, and public at large has been benefited from the technology developed by the researcher. So that's the objective, and that's the process we follow for you. And we try to reach, we try to penetrate every corner with your research to through the industry, and through the by in a form of product or a form of process what is being developed. So that's the entire process of technology transfer what we do. Those who are attending this program, they can approach us like they are a researcher or a faculty. They can approach us for their filing of IP in India, and the researchers they can approach to us for transferring their technology. And those who are enthusiastic, they have done something new, and some funding is looking there for as per the schemes. They can approach to us for NRDC, and also we can seek some support from the joint development of technology, something to be connected with some lab for your research that you can also do. And also some project management we can do for the university also, for the institutions. And every incubator is welcome for incubation support and mentoring too, as if they are embarking with any other startups. And also researchers, we can have a connect with other laboratories, ministries, research bodies to establish your technology. So these are the takeaways. Those who are heading this program, they can write to us, they can approach to us. Our address is at same. We are placed in our office is headquartered in Jamrudpur Community Center, Kalas Colony, and it's very near to Kalas Colony Metro Station and opposite to Lady Sri Ram College. You can approach to us anytime by phone. You can write a mail to us, and phone numbers also available. Our website is www.nrcindia.com.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev ji and Commodore Rastogi, for explaining us elaborately, like to our students especially and to the faculty members who all are listening. वो जो लोग हमें सुन रहे हैं उनको बहुत ही आसानी हो गई होगी कि whenever they have some creation in their mind, or if they have created something, and especially the thing that it is an IPR, where to go and how to take assistance. स्पेशली आपके जो 2 प्रोग्राम्स मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगे वो थे, और मुझे लगता है कि वो 2 प्रोग्राम्स हमारे लिए बहुत ही बेनिफिशियल होंगे. आपका ये लेक्चर बहुत ही एनरिचिंग था, और वो 2 प्रोग्राम्स को मैं बोलूंगी कि फर्स्ट इज द ट्रेनिंग वर्कशॉप फॉर कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग. ये तो आप करवाते रहिए एंड वी विल ऑलवेज लुक फॉरवर्ड। हम आपसे बातें करेंगे कि आप हमारे लिए कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग और ट्रेनिंग वर्कशॉप्स करवाइए हमारे IPR स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, और वो तमाम स्टूडेंट्स जो कि हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं और जो जिनके पास कुछ क्रिएशन है उनके लिए। एंड द सेकेंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोग्राम इज दैट प्रोग्राम फॉर inspiring inventors and innovators. Innovations are done every day, and especially in the academia. हमारे यहाँ इतने जो साइंस के टीचर्स हैं हमारे यहाँ, और वो लोग बहुत सारे इनोवेशंस करते हैं और इन्वेंट करते हैं चीजें, बट दे डोंट नो हाउ टू हार्नेस दैट नॉलेज और टू गेट पेटेंट फॉर दैट। तो इन सब के लिए ये बहुत ही वरदान हुआ साबित हुआ होगा ये आज का ये वर्कशॉप, आज का जो अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम है, एंड आई एम रियली वेरी थैंकफुल टू यू। Now I invite Honorable PVC sir, Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Satyakam ji, जो हमारे PVC sir हैं, and he is a person of literature, but he has been very instrumental and supportive to the School of Law in every activity which we have participated. So sir, I invite you for giving the presidential address. Please sir.
धन्यवाद सुनील जी। आदरणीय कमोडोर अमित रस्तोगी जी, चेयरमैन एंड मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर नेशनल रिसर्च डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, एंड डॉक्टर संजीव मजुमदार जी, मैनेजर NRPC न्यू दिल्ली। मेरे लिए तो ये विषय वैसा ही है जैसे जिसको कुछ न दिखाई पड़ रहा हो उसको कुछ दिखने लगे। कई बार जब हमारे विद्यार्थी शोध करते हैं, PhD कर रहे होते हैं, और वो जब रेफरेंस के लिए कई जगह से सामग्री उठाते हैं तो उनको भी नहीं मालूम होता है कि हाउ टू रेफर इट, क्या इसके नियम होंगे। हालांकि कोर्स वर्क के दौरान उनको हम पढ़ाते हैं, बताते हैं, लेकिन उनको मालूम नहीं होता। मुझे लगता है कि जो आज हम लोगों को, हमारे विद्यार्थियों को जो अलग अलग चैनल्स पर इसको सुन रहे होंगे, उनको इसके बारे में जानकारी मिली होगी कि किस तरह से इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट के बारे में आगे बढ़ना होता है। खास तौर पर वे विद्यार्थी, जैसा कि सुनील जी ने कहा भी, कि जो इनोवेशन में लगे हुए हैं। हमारे बहुत सारे विद्यार्थी लगातार जो हमारे यहाँ नेशनल सेंटर फॉर इनोवेशंस है, NCID, वो लगातार इनोवेशन करते रहते हैं और भेजते रहते हैं। उनके लिए भी ये बहुत उपयोगी कार्यक्रम रहा है। देखिए, जो हमारी जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है, उस नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को अगर हम ध्यान से देखें तो उसमें इनोवेशन पर बहुत ज्यादा बल दिया गया है, और हमारे जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स हैं, चाहे वो BA, BSc, BCom, MA, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की बात की गई है, और ये कहा गया है कि आप लोग इनोवेट करो, नई चीजें सीखो। तो मान लीजिए किसी ने कोई ऐसा इनोवेट किया तो उसके पेटेंट की बात आती है, उस पर अपने राइट्स की बात आती है, उसके बारे में निश्चित रूप से जानकारी कम होती है। आज के इस कार्यक्रम में जो सरकार ने, भारत सरकार ने जो ये उपलब्ध करा रखे हैं साधन, उसके बारे में एक अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम जो ये किया, वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि ये जो जानकारियां हैं वो अगर हमारे अंडर ग्रेजुएट, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट के स्टूडेंट्स को भी मिलेगी तो वो इससे बहुत लाभान्वित। मैं तो बराबर डायरेक्टर साहिबा से ये कहता हूँ कि आपके इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट की जो जानकारियां हैं, उन जानकारियों को एक जगह रखकर एक 4 क्रेडिट का आप कोर्स बनाएं। आपके पास कोर्स उपलब्ध है, और हमारे जो खास तौर पर जो अंडर ग्रेजुएट के जो विद्यार्थी, उनको आप इसको दें स्किल के रूप में। ये स्किल ही माना जाएगा, क्योंकि कोई भी नई चीज को सीखना, लर्न करना, जरूरी नहीं है कि वो प्रैक्टिकल ही करें। उसमें अगर उनको कोई भी जानकारी इस तरह से मिलती है तो आप इसको मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी में भी डाल सकती हैं, स्किल में भी डाल सकती हैं। ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण, और ये अवसर कम लोगों को मिलता है कि कमोडोर अमित रस्तोगी जैसे और डॉक्टर संजीव मजूमदार जैसे, जो इस क्षेत्र में जो विशेषज्ञता प्राप्त कर रखी है, उनसे सीधे हमें बातचीत करने का मौका मिलता है। तो मैं बधाई देता हूँ स्कूल ऑफ लॉ को कि उन्होंने इतना अच्छा ये कार्यक्रम कराया, इतनी जानकारियां हम लोगों को मिली, और हमारे विद्यार्थी जो इसको सुन रहे होंगे और बाद में भी इसको YouTube पर अगर आप रखेंगी तो हमारे विद्यार्थी इसको सुन सकेंगे और लाभान्वित होंगे। आपने मुझे बुलाया और इतने महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में मुझे शामिल किया, क्योंकि सीखने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती है। मैंने भी आज बहुत सीखा, बहुत लर्न किया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर संजीव मजूमदार जी को भी कि आप आए यहाँ, और कमांडर साहब कमोडोर अमित रस्तोगी जी को भी कि आपने इतने ज्ञानपूर्ण बातें की। तो आप हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के मंच पर आए, इसके लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, समय निकाला आपने। धन्यवाद
सर। अब बहुत उपयोगी, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज धन्यवाद ज्ञापन का है सर। And I am really thankful to Commodore Rastogi ji that you have accepted our invitation to give this lecture. And you were very busy with other meetings and programs, but you took, you took off time and gave us this important lecture. So I'm very thankful to you. I'm also thankful to Dr. Majumdar, Sanjeev Majumdar, जिन्होंने हमारा बहुत हेल्प किया कॉमोडोर रस्तोगी से बात करके, उनको एक बताया कि ये प्रोग्राम स्कूल ऑफ लॉ द्वारा किया जा रहा है और इस तरह का लेक्चर है, यहाँ स्टूडेंट्स शामिल होंगे और वो तैयार हुए। तो आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू डॉक्टर संजीव मजूमदार ऑल्सो। आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू प्रोफेसर सत्यकाम जी कि उन्होंने हमें हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में अपना वैल्यूबल टाइम दिया। जो सर हमेशा हमें टाइम देते हैं, उनका एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण प्रोग्राम आज शाम को 4 बजे होता है। सर चेयरपर्सन भी है डायस्पोरा स्टडीज के, तो उनका वो प्रोग्राम फ्रीडम ऑफ स्टडीज आई एम रियली सॉरी, अमृत महोत्सव का एक प्रोग्राम है, वो होता है। उसके बावजूद भी उन्होंने टाइम दिया। आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू यू, एंड आई एम ऑल्सो थैंकफुल टू ऑल दोज पीपल हु हैव जॉइंड अस and who are listening to us and hearing this very important topic on this topic. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sunit, for your kind words. And it's indeed was a pleasure to be part of this forum, and especially to be part of the education system, because we are part of the corporate entity or corporate world. But to be able to contribute to the India's education system, and where our youth will get benefited from the activities of the government of India, it was indeed a pleasure to be part of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sanjeev Majumdar ji. Thank you very much. Thank you all my faculty members and all my colleagues who have joined. Thank you so much.